All right, guys, let's check out a new release, a diver from the brand Duckworth Prestex. This is the Belmont. Now, they have some other watches that are just good, clean, tastefully done watches, but this is their first venture with a dive watch. So I was able to meet up with the brand owner, Neil Duckworth. There's some heritage there with that name. His family has ties to watches at least 3 generations, excuse me. And Neil actually has been doing watches from the beginning. And he is the gentleman that actually brought Tag Heuer to the UK in 1982. So I do own one tag. So if I would have been in the UK, I would have been thankful that Neil brought it to the UK. Anyway, just kind of sharing a little bit, enlightening you a little bit to how deep the passion for watches and watchmaking go with the brand. So it's a micro brand right now, but there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of brands out there, micro brands out there that have a lot of history. Duckworth is one of them. Let's get into the watch. So 42 millimeter wide case, 50 lug to lug. You can see the drilled lugs. And you can see the finishing is stainless steel, but it's all blasted. Just so you know, that's why it has that kind of soft gray tone to it. It's not titanium, it's stainless steel, but it's a complete blasted finish to it for sure. Only 12.4 millimeter thick on this thing with a double dome sapphire crystal AR coating inside. 22 millimeter lug width here, and you have a 7.4 millimeter screw down crown. Tons of traction on that, very easy to operate. These are all no date. They're using the Miyota 9039, which is the correct movement for a no date, so you don't have any ghost positions. Aluminum bezel insert, 120 click bezel. And did I already mention the water depth rating? 300 meter on this thing. Let's zoom in, take a closer look at this orange one, and then we'll take a look at the blue one. So you can see there you have a Fume dial with a wave pattern on there. You have a brushed handset. So that helps it interact with the light and make it very dynamic, because you get it kind of like where there's no light on it and they almost look black. And then as soon as you get the light on them, they're reflective and very easy to read. Should be BGW 9 print on all of the markers and on the handset. I like the use of the aluminum bezel insert too. You can only get that look with aluminum on these bezel inserts, and so often now everybody is using sapphire or ceramic or just metal, but it is nice to see the aluminum still make an appearance on some watches, including this Duckworth, because it just interacts with the light in a more pure way, I believe. Here's the blue one. No Fume dial on this one, just a straight blue dial with the wave pattern still, and then you have a splash of yellow with the seconds hand and the 300 meter, whereas this one you have a splash of blue to interact with that orange. Nice complementary color. The price points on these, on bracelet, you're looking at $976. On the rubber, $878. I would say get the bracelet, and then you could buy the rubber separately, because these bracelets are great. They're all individual links, as you can see there. So it really, really aids in the comfort. This thing just flows really good. You have screw pins. Probably going to want to use a 1.2 screwdriver to size that. You have one micro adjust on the clasp, but you have this diver extension, which you could ride it as a micro adjust. But these links are short enough that I think you're going to be able to dial in the size. All milled out clasp. Really nice case back on this one. Let me zoom in again so we can get a better look at that. Has the duck logo there, the branding, the model, all of the information that you would expect on the case back. Designed in England. Quick release spring bars on the bracelet and on the rubber straps, I believe. Let me pop this one on wrist. Before I do that, actually, let's run the bezel. Nice tactile 120 click. No play in that thing. And it lines up. Actually, did I point out, if we zoom back in, the railroad track on the outer perimeter of the dial, it's kind of interesting how it's done, because it's segmented at the 5-minute marks and it's kind of broken. It's an interesting feature. I have not, usually it's not interrupted like that, so I'm not really sure. I'm trying to do a closer look on that to see how that's done or why that's done. It's just a little indent on that every 5-minute marker. So nice little touch. These are very clean watches. They are inspected before they go out for extra quality control level from the people that are behind the brand. So there it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. Looks, feels, wears great. Very comfortable on wrist. Love the case shape. It's very thin for this style of case shape, so that aids in its comfort. It has a nice weight to it on bracelet. Let me put the one on the rubber strap. You can see there, again, quick release spring bars. There's a few other colors as well, so definitely check out the link in the description down below. There you go. That one's a little more traditional looking with the dark blue. Still looks great. Let's take this one back off. Let's kill the lights and check the lume. Should we cheat and blast them? I've been blasting everything with the UV light. Ooh, I think the bezel might be lumed too. I didn't realize the bezel was lumed. Yeah, fully BGW 9'd out. Great application of lume, like you would expect on a dive watch, and they delivered. So a really good option at below the $1,000 mark. Check them out. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.